And we are live with another episode of the Keeg Talks. Today, the Keeg Talks, The Little Mermaid, the new movie that came out this year, in the year 2023. I'm your host, Dimithri Perera. If you're watching us live, you can watch us, you're watching us on twitch.tv/The Keeg Show or youtube.com/The Keeg Show. Or if you're listening to us and you can't see our faces, then that means you're listening to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts from. Yeah, I'm your host, Dimithri Perera. It's been a couple weeks since we've done the Keeg Talks, but we're here to talk about The Little Mermaid. It needs to be talked about, and I have two awesome guests here on the show today. First up, we got Nicque Marina, first time on the Keeg. Nicque, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going, you know. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad I got you on and you took time out of your day to be here. I'm assuming liked the Little Mermaid movie.
I absolutely loved it. I was lucky enough to go to the premiere, and it was a very emotional. Yeah, it was a very, very emotional, nostalgic experience. And I was like, Hallie got standing ovations, like, you know, and there was applause during certain parts of the movie. I was just so excited for everyone else to see it, so we could do this, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
So,
that's really the only reason you went to the premiere, is to talk about it on this podcast today. So thank you for that.
Of course. Right. Yeah, naturally.
Second, also, our other guest we also haven't had on the Keeg before. We got Miss Nova Lively. Nova, thanks so much for taking time out of your morning. You just got back from Hawaii.
Yeah, of course.
Which is kind of Little Mermaid themed. In the
Dude,
water
I was actually gonna buy a tail to swim in the ocean. Yeah, but I couldn't afford it, so I didn't do it.
I would be afraid of putting on a tail and swimming in the ocean, because I mean, a shark's just gonna eat you. That's what I assume.
It's actually very rare in Hawaii, apparently. So I don't know. We went snorkeling with the turtles, and I was like, oh, this would have been the perfect time for me to wear a tail. Oh, yeah.
You know what's also rare in Hawaii? Mermaids. We don't have the stats on.
Very true.
You know? There's not enough mermaid to sharks.
I would have been the first one, probably.
Yeah, so then 100% of the mermaids that are in Hawaii get eaten by sharks.
Oh, dang, that's sad.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You gotta be careful.
Fair enough.
The Little Mermaid, this movie, I just want to know real quick as we're opening this up, I want to know what you would give it out of 10 and a quick reason why before we get into in depth about everything about this movie. If you have a score.
Okay. Nicque, you want to go first?
No, madam, you got it.
Okay. Personally, I would give it like an 8.5 or 9. Mostly because of one certain song, and a certain character. And I'll just leave it at that. We could get into details.
I mean, we'll get into details, but okay, good to know.
Yeah.
That's a mystery. I wonder who you could be talking about. 8.5 or 9. That's a healthy score.
Yeah.
All right. Nicque.
Well, live action's perfect, you know?
What's up?
I just said, live action is perfect, you know?
Right.
I'd give it, me personally, I give it a 9.3, I think. Because things can't be perfect, and it wasn't perfect. And incidentally, I think that me and Nova might have the same exact reason for giving.
Yeah.
For giving, I loved, I love Lin-Manuel. I love the work that he does. Okay, but listen, listen. It was. We're talking about Scuttlebutt, right? Are we talking about that?
No, I love Scuttlebutt. What?
Did you really?
I love Scuttlebutt.
It was cute. It was cute. Okay, when we
first time watching it, it was annoying, but like,
same. The second
Sebastian
time
started going, I was like, oh, okay. So I'll talk about Eric's
I agree.
song.
The second time, I love. Okay, like it's either I feel like it's so divided. It's like it's either you love Eric's song or you hate it. I love it. My
I
husband
hated
loves
it.
it. He's been listening to it on loop. I love it. I'm down bad for that.
Yeah. I know. Everyone's like,
Oh
oh,
my
it's good. Like, no, I don't like it. He was walking around like he was drunk. No, the way he was singing it, I couldn't. It was like a drunk version of Bet on It from High School Musical.
They were saying it was giving Troy Bolton.
Yes.
I loved it.
I find it funny they brought up Scuttlebutt and whatnot. We'll get into that a little bit. I would give it an 8. I give the movie an 8. I give Hallie a perfect 10. No complaints.
12 out of 10.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, are we allowed to give 12 out of 10? Okay, 12 out of 10. Then.
I'm doing it.
But
Dead
like there were a couple things that I was like, I wish it had gone a different way, you know?
Yes.
Let's rewind a little bit. Let's rewind the clock. Were you guys really attached to the Little Mermaid movie, the cartoon movie that came out back in, I think it's 89? Like, was it a big deal for you guys growing up?
Oh yeah, especially my sister. She was a huge Little Mermaid fan, and I just remember dressing up as Ariel as a child. But yeah, loved Little Mermaid.
Yeah, Ariel.
I think
was
Aladdin was my favorite, but
oh, Aladdin's one of my favorites too. Oh my god.
Yeah, Little Mermaid was definitely top 3.
Yeah, Little Mermaid actually is how I learned to sing.
Oh yeah.
Like part of your world. That was like probably that was the first song I ever sang like as a kid, and yeah, I was very attached. I was like, she was my favorite princess until like Mulan. She's not technically princess, but like she was my favorite, and I spent a lot of time like figuring out how to become a mermaid. Like I really wanted to be a mermaid.
Girl, same. I've been trying so hard. I just bought my tail, and it just came in today. Like I'm
gonna buy
Ariel
I'm trying to buy a tail blanket. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm cosplaying her tomorrow. So stay tuned for more content.
I'm trying to get a tail blanket so I can lay down on the couch and be a mermaid.
Love that.
On Amazon.
They didn't have those tails growing up, right? Like,
they did.
Like where you can get into the pool, you put on your tail, you get in the pool back in the 90s?
I don't know about that, but I distinctly remember at the Disney store, like there was like an Ariel section, and there was like a seashell bra and mermaid tail. Like you could buy it, and costume, I wanted it more than life.
Yeah, I remember there was a costume, but as the actual tail to swim in, well, I didn't have a pool, so I never really looked for one and didn't know. So maybe I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I know they have the costumes for sure.
Yeah. I feel like it's interesting because the movie came out a long time ago, but Ariel as a character has been popular for a couple decades now, right? And the movie came out in 89, I think, and I was surprised, but like growing up,
I wasn't born yet.
You weren't
born? Me neither.
I wasn't born yet. Oh wait, was I? Wait, was I? Maybe
89.
Yeah, never mind. I was born. But I was too young to see it, so I saw it when I was like, a little bit. Like I was Anyway, point being is, Ariel, Little Mermaid was like a really cool movie, even like for me being like a boy growing up. Though Aladdin, Lion King were my 2 top Disney movies growing up, and they're like my top movies even now. Like they're my top 5. Is Aladdin, Lion King. But Little Mermaid, Part of Your World, always stood out to me. It's just a really good song. Like,
Yeah, I think Little Mermaid was part of the new. I think it was one of the starts of the Renaissance.
Yeah.
Period. I think where they were, really going balls to the wall on music, and like Howard Ashman was like cranking out these hits and stuff, and Alan Menken. So that was like that, and Beauty and the Beast. It was like the start of an era that just like went really strong.
Well, Beauty and the Beast was nominated for Best Picture, I think. And then I
think it was the first animated.
Yeah, and then they created the animated Best Picture category because of it. I think.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. So, these Disney movies are out here, breaking breaking down, barriers and whatnot with their quality. So Ariel for this whole time has been a pretty big Disney character, very marketable. And then they announced that they're going to do a live action movie. People of all types get excited. And then they announce who's casted, and people of one type do not get excited. How do you guys feel about Halle Bailey being cast originally? We're taking it back to before we saw the movie.
Yeah.
When she was cast, what were your
I
thoughts?
was like, ooh, these white people gonna be mad. That was my first thought, and I was shocked. I was like, well, and then also I was like, how's that gonna work? She got braids. She can't do the fork thing with the braids, but they did it. But they did it. So at first I was like, I don't know about this, but I know she can sing. It's like, oh, well, she's gonna get the singing part down. So I was like, okay. Like, I understood why people were like upset, because obviously they wanted the original character they grew up with. I get that. But the way they were going about it was being extremely racist. And it's like, yeah, she's a mermaid. It's not that deep. It is not that deep. And I was excited. But like, I understood, but I was also excited. I was like, okay, let's see how we do it. But also it's live action. So I was like, okay, I'm going to hope for the best, but not expect the best, if that makes sense.
We kind of have to keep our expectations low for a little bit until we see more, right?
Yeah, just for live actions in general, it's always been a hit or miss, usually a miss.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I knew with Hailey singing, and once I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this is going to be good. Just hearing her voice was like, oh, okay. Now I'm super excited. But I didn't, I knew she was an actress, and I've seen her on Grownish. She was great. But I didn't know how she would, be an Ariel. So I was like, okay, let's see. I'm gonna see how she acts. And she was Ariel. Like, there's no doubt about it. I literally can't picture anyone else being Ariel but her. She nailed it. And I'm so happy about that.
Nicki?
Of course, there's certain things. Go ahead, Nicki.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
done. I'm
done. It's complicated feelings because on one hand, like, you're happy to get an Ariel that looks like you and other brown and black girls. But I think, at least for me, and I think for a lot of us, there's this anxiety that comes up when these casting decisions do come out, and it has nothing to do with whether they can do it or not. It's the fear of what they're going to go through. It's very like one thing it was akin to for me. It was like when the first time I saw Endgame and they passed the shield to Sam. My first thought was not like, oh my God, Captain America's a black man. It was, oh my God, Captain America's a black man. Like, oh shit, I was scared for the character. I was scared for Anthony Mackie. And that's how I felt about the casting when they cast Halle. I'm like, we know she's an angelic singer. She looks, like she like her vibe is Ariel. I didn't have any doubt that she was going to be great. Even as far as live actions go, and I think this one blew most of them out of the water. But I was, there's the happiness, and then there's the anxiety because also because of racism and stuff, it kind of shot any ability to have an objective conversation about this movie or movies like it, like Wakanda Forever or like the Marvels, that hasn't even come out yet, because it's already been deemed a failure because there's a black woman cast, because it's a woke project, because it's this, because it's that, and now every single thing is going to be nitpicked. The color isn't right. The CGI is wonky. Oh, her hair is not the right shade of red. This, and that. And so, it's like, no matter what, she's not going to be able to win. It feels like
100%.
100. Yeah. So,
yep.
So I was like, I'm looking forward to it. Especially those of us that grew up with Disney and like the girls that grew up playing dolls and playing princesses. And, you know, if we were ever in a group of white girls, a lot of us have had the experience of like, you can't be Cinderella, you can't be Ariel, you got to be whatever the least white one is, Jasmine, Mulan, Tiana, like whatever, or the princess left over that nobody wants. And so to see a Black Ariel was gonna, I feel like it was gonna heal something in a lot of us that we probably forgot we might have needed healing from.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, those were the feelings for me. And I think it's unfortunate that the feelings have to be so complicated.
Yeah. I don't want to get too in depth about what I'm going to say next, but I felt the very same way in 2008 when Obama got elected. I was like, oh yeah, oh no, what are the next, you know, what are the next 4 to 8 years going to be like? Then you get worried, you know, about how other people are going to.
They nitpick everything he did, which
he got
really he did
crucified for a tan suit.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Like they are crazy. They will literally anything we do when we make it to the top, they will try to destroy us any way they can, and it's really sad and it's heartbreaking to see.
Was there
like, damn, we can't we just win and you guys just actually like.
was there a tan suit equivalent to the Little Mermaid?
The hair, or
something that did not matter at all. That they were just what, you know.
I don't know. I feel like they just made up their mind before they even watched it, so they were just gonna hate it regardless.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
For people, it was like, oh, I think that's awful.
I think it's accumulation. There's accumulation of comments that made up the tan suit.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, all of you are CGI experts. All of a sudden, all of you care about details that I have never seen you care about. Yeah. And no shade to Emma Watson, love her, but her singing in Beauty and the Beast was not good.
Exactly.
And like, the way people crucify little details in this movie were the energy that you probably like, that if Halle had performed the way that Emma did in Beauty and the Beast vocally, like, you know, come on. So I think, yeah, absolutely. Like I told you guys before this, there was a comment on one of my videos that someone was like, genuine complaint, she sounded too similar to the original Jodie Benson.
Like what?
What the fuck do you
like? What?
Like a character whose hallmark is their voice, and you're gonna say genuine complaint? She's like, not like, now it's like, guys, be so fucking for real. That's why I said like racism took away any ability to have any kind of real ass conversation about opinions about this movie that we can have about any other movies literally ever that features fucking white men.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
the wildest take that I saw after the movie came out is somebody said it was an okay movie, but she was not pretty. What is
ludicrous?
Which is the craziest thing to me.
He needs to go to a mental facility. Like, take him to the psych ward.
Like, what?
ASAP.
What is that?
She was stunning.
She was mediocre or whatever. I think they used a different word, but like, what is? At that point, you're just delusional and like, there's no talking to you. You know?
Exactly.
They always treat Black women the bottom of the barrel when it comes to, you know, looks.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm a cat. I hope you don't hear my cat.
No.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's all right. And then there's the whole mermaids scientifically would be white under the sea, talking out of their ass about marine biology they know nothing about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Marine biologists had to actually hop into the conversation on TikTok. Like, actually, like.
Yeah.
It's a mermaid.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. There is no scientific facts on, like, it doesn't exist.
Right.
You guys are talking out of your ass.
Right.
And you guys are trying to use any other explanation instead of the main thing is you're just racist.
Right.
Leave it at that.
The funny thing is that mermaids are part of so many cultures around the
Yeah.
world, not just European. There are mermaids in African lore. I believe one of the Orishas is technically a mermaid. There's mermaids in the Caribbean, in Native American lore. Like, as a matter of fact, one of the times I got very emotional while watching the movie is when Prince Eric is like, showing his map to Ariel. He's pointing out all of these different countries and regions, and he says, and this is the Mosquito Coast. And that is my tribe, where my grandmother is from. It's a very small, like very obscure area tribe, like nobody, like Native American tribe that nobody talks about. And so like for that to be acknowledged, I got very emotional. I started crying because I've never heard my tribe mentioned in pop culture before. So obviously they did their research, and mermaids are a part of our lore. And so like, it's like, why again, it's rhetorical, but why are y'all the only ones that get to indulge in fantasy, in this way?
Yeah.
Like,
shout out to the Mighty Z on TikTok and Instagram. She does a lot of great content, including, I believe she did a Black Mermaid from different cultures post about different cultures, breakdowns of mermaids and whatnot.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, Z does great work.
I gotta see that.
So this movie, let's get down to the nitty gritty about this movie.
Yes.
Itself. I don't. Let's start positive. I mean, what were your favorite things about this movie? Because there are a lot of great things.
Well, I saw it 3 times, so.
Okay, so you didn't like it. You're on the fence on whether you liked it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it 3 times because I hated it that much.
You're just booing the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah.
The entire time. Let's see. My favorite parts. That's what you asked, right? The best parts.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, the new song, Ariel's new song, For the First Time, has been playing on repeat in my head for days. Like, that song is so good, and I love that it really shows like her human experience. It's not just about her trying to get Eric. I love Sebastian. Sebastian killed it. In fact, I think he was my favorite character for sure.
Yeah.
And Awkwafina, like, I don't know. I was like, oh God, Awkwafina, this is gonna be annoying. But she was great. She was hilarious. I loved her. And the whole cast was amazing. And I like, even though they made certain changes, I actually like the changes better than the original, to be honest. It made more sense. And it made it more like she really was just there for the human experience than just to get Eric.
Yeah.
Which I like. But, she happened to fall in love being up there, and that's what it felt like.
It's been a while since I've seen the animated movie, so I was trying to compare it in my head, but I'm like, I don't remember like scene for scene like what it was. But in the animated movie, was there a lot of scenes about her going through the people in the village and stuff, or was it just elongated for this?
There was one. It was one montage where she and Eric were in the town.
Yeah.
There was no song or anything. It was just instrumentals. And then they did she takes the it's not a chariot. What the fuck?
Carriage?
Whatever.
The cart? Yeah.
She's carriage. Yeah, she speeds the carriage, and then they go to the lagoon and everything. So that part was definitely more fleshed out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It had more culture, right? Like in the live.
Oh my
action.
God, love that. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I liked how. I think what I really liked, which I was kind of like confused at first, but it made sense towards the end, or like watching the whole thing, where Ursula took away Ariel's memory about the deal, about kissing Eric, because it made their love way more genuine. It's not about her trying to get him to fall in love with her. They both have to love each other genuinely. You know what I mean? Where, because kissed the girl, she could have kissed him right there, but she stopped it. Like, no, I gotta like you too.
Yeah.
I love that. Let's not make it about women chasing the guy and trying to get him to fall. No, let's make it equal, and we fall in love with each other. And that made it more genuine because she forgot about it. Their love seemed more real to me.
Yeah. I liked it. There were small changes in this movie that I think made a lot of sense.
Yes.
Made it. Yeah.
Wait, because if you notice,
more complicated, but in a better way.
No, but if you notice that one thing apparently people pointed out is how she uses her tail to set the curse, whatever, instead of writing the signature.
Yes.
Which makes sense because that means she was able to write, which means she could have literally wrote her name and like what's going on if she knew how to write, like how they did in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Which everyone's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. If she knows how to write, then she could have like written on the stand or like on a piece of paper telling Eric everything.
Yeah.
And so they cut that out. Which is smart.
Yeah. Rob Marshall literally did an interview recently. He's the producer. I think he produced the original and he produced this one or directed.
I think he was.
But
director,
the director. Yeah, I think he was. But they've been listening to all the plot director. They've been listening to all the plot holes over the years since 1989, and the biggest one was that writing one. And they were like, "Oh yeah," he was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good point." I love that.
Yeah, like that doesn't make any sense. So
I love it. I love it when they fix plot holes in like remakes. You know, like fix the plot hole in a remake. Don't keep that going. Just fix it here so we don't have to talk about it anymore. You know?
Yeah, and even though they changed Scuttles into a different bird, I forgot what kind of bird is it.
Yeah, I know that it was no longer a seagull, but it was.
But it made more sense because the type of bird Scuttle is now can swim, can breathe underwater, or be underwater for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. And
it made it more like impactful that Ariel has never been above the surface because, she's not allowed to. So for her to do it the first time was more like intense. I was like, oh my God. Like I felt it more than the original of her going up the surface.
Yeah. But she did like chill in that lifeboat, or not the lifeboat, but that side boat.
Really fast.
She was like out in the lifeboat, just kind of.
Yeah.
What kind of upper body strength?
Do it, I'm going. Right? She said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it all the way. I'm going hard. I'm like, oh, girl, chill. Not on the boat.
Like, can you imagine though? Like
that when I was like, Ariel can do mad pull-ups then, I guess.
Right?
See, that's not scientifically accurate. She should be like yoked, Just like they should have gotten Halle Bailey to just do a lot of upper body workout.
I know.
Looking
right?
like
Well, they did have to do a lot. They did have to do a lot of working out and a lot of a lot of training to be able to film in the rig.
Yeah.
In front of the green screen, for like the motion capture and stuff with the whatever tail replacement they had. So they had to do they actually had to do a lot of like physical training for that.
Yeah.
Dead ass. So maybe she is like, Yeah.
They just have her do.
And when you saw those abs,
she looked too good.
I gotta.
She looked so good.
The makeup. I was upset.
Was stunning.
I was like, okay, I've liked Halle Bailey since Grownish. And like I was watching Grownish back when it started, and I've loved her since then. So to see her in this,
I actually got to work on it.
Oh, on Grownish?
I've worked on Grownish a couple of times, and got to meet them. They're super nice. They're so nice and super chill. Yeah. I mostly talk to Chloe, so, but they're really, really dope. I love working on that show.
That's so cool.
I'm jealous. So cool.
It's just background, so it's not a big deal. But it's still.
I was gonna ask him like, what did you do?
Yeah, I just did background. Only background.
Were you like, hey, you should be Little Mermaid? Psst, psst, one day.
That was which is crazy. That was way before I found out she was Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
So, because she left for Little Mermaid, while they were filming it, and I was on working it before that. And then I stopped because I started working another show. So
yeah. Which
super nice.
Which season were you on? Like, what were you? I'm trying to remember what happened in.
How many seasons do they have now?
I don't know. I didn't
Or
watch
like
the final
did
season. So, or I got
with
halfway
Yara. With Yara, I think only worked the first two.
through. Okay.
So I just know I worked while she was there, and then I stopped before she left.
I'm trying to think of
Like,
like
right
all the
before
different
she
plot
left.
lines that happened, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
I want to shout out because we are streaming to Twitch and to YouTube. On Twitch, the DA Experience 83 says, my whole family went to see the movie, my niece's first theater experience, and we all loved it. She never took her eyes off the screen. That's yeah. I took my mom to see it, and my mom loved this movie. And
oh my god,
I don't know. Did you guys go with people?
so I went three times.
I went twice. I went to the premiere,
Yeah.
and I was with Amanda. Amanda just vibing, so I was with her. And then I took my husband shortly after I got back, and he was like shit. He was emotional. He was like wiping tears. Like he had a moment when there was the Jodie Benson cameo, the original Little Mermaid. I saw him like like gasp and then wipe it. It's like, oh my god,
passing on the fork.
Passing the dingle hopper.
Yes. It was so cute. Yeah, I definitely. Well, I saw it with 3 different groups of my friends.
Yeah.
And I cried twice in the first time watching it, and still cried at least just once on the other 2. And the fact that I still cried on the third time, I was like, oh my god, like I already seen this. Why am I still crying? It was just so good. And her voice and her singing, oh my god, you can't help it. Like, it's just so beautiful. She killed it. I really can't picture anyone else singing that song for her. I mean, I'm sure they'll do great, but like, I'm sorry.
Right.
Like her.
No, she's it.
Yeah, she was it. And the way she embodies Ariel, like the innocence, like, and she also just made it her own. It wasn't like she was trying to be Ariel. No, she was Ariel, which it's just hard to explain. She just did it so well. And I like how she wasn't as animated. She was more natural with her acting.
Yeah.
Which I felt like that's how it became more of her own. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but my cat is freaking out.
Don't worry. I can't hear a thing.
Good. Because he is acting like a damn fool right now. I'm just gonna ignore him. My roommate will deal with it.
I want to take it back to Scuttle. Scuttle was a northern gannet. I looked it up.
That's it, gannet.
Right.
And some people were upset. They're like, why isn't Scuttle a seagull? I don't think it really matters that much, but
like,
this is one of those things that like this again, if we didn't have the element of the racism that came before, I would view a lot of these criticisms so much more like, yeah, I get it. But right now I'm like, be fucking for real, because like, you know, they were complaining about the ultra realism of, or the animation of Flounder and the animation of Sebastian, and why did they change this? And I'm like, I didn't hear y'all saying shit about the household objects in Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
All I heard was y'all losing your pussies over Emma Watson being cast, and apparently just skimming over the fact that she couldn't sing.
Yeah.
That's all I remember. So even if it was
mediocre at best.
It was middle of the road. The song they added for the Beast was pretty good. I will admit, but I like Nevermore. But absolutely no hate to Emma Watson. You know what I mean? But
no hate.
Yeah, but like little things like why they changed the bird, why like it, okay.
It made more sense to
the story.
Jesus.
It made more, like Nova said, like it makes complete sense that Ariel's never been to the surface. So a bird that is her friend, a bird that's her friend has probably got to be a bird that can be underwater some of the time. So and even if you don't like it, it's not like it changes literally anything about the story. Like anything.
It changes a little bit, but for the better, in my opinion.
Right.
Like just the fact that she's never been on the surface versus when in the original she has, but it didn't make it as big of, it didn't seem like it was a big of a deal for her to do it when she went up again when the boat came. But in the live action, it felt like a big deal watching it. And I liked that. I felt like,
even the cinematography, cinematography at that moment. There was like, as she was like going up and they're zooming in at her swimming up to touch the water. I'm like, no, this is a moment. She's never fucking done this before.
Yes, that's what I felt from it. And I like that versus the original. Yeah. So that's how I feel it.
I originally wasn't so sure about the designs on the animals. Not about the change to Scuttle and whatnot, but like, I mean, people pointed out that like Flounder wasn't cute enough, but I'm gonna be honest, like I went in thinking Flounder wasn't cute enough because I don't like fish. Like I like eating fish, but not looking at them. They're gross looking, but they're tasty.
Yeah.
But like Flounder wasn't this cute chubby fish that he was in the cartoon, but with Jacob Tremblay's voice.
Tremblay.
Yeah. He was cute. Like he became cute with the voice, and I was like, all right, I'll overlook this, you know? I thought they did a real good job with making the characters look realistic, but also still cartoony. Like Sebastian's eyes and whatnot.
Sebastian, that Mr. Krabs shit was hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't bother me at all with Sebastian. I thought he looked great, to be honest, and he was hilarious. So I didn't even think about how he looked because the acting and the comedy was just so good. As for Flounder, I do wish they made him probably a little bit bigger, more yellow, like more colorful.
Yeah.
But other than that, he was so adorable because of the voice. It was cute. It was very cute.
I definitely think they fixed a problem that they had on Lion King, where the animals weren't emotive. I feel like they fixed that problem in this.
Dude, that live action felt like Animal Planet just talking. I wasn't feeling it, to be honest.
Lion King was not to take away from this. So Lion King was weird, and I think that probably was a learning moment for Walt Disney Animation to like decide what's an actual good movie to do live action for, you know? Because it's like you can either, with like Lion King, it's like you either go really cartoony for the animals or you go ultra realistic. There is no in between, and obviously they went ultra realistic, and it just didn't. Yeah. It didn't give what they.
It was a miss. It was a miss.
It did.
Sorry.
Yeah. It was. And Lion King is my favorite.
Lion King. Yeah. I love Lion King, but it was a miss. Like the way they made Scar look, not it.
Yeah. Awkwafina, Scuttle. Anyone have any thoughts?
I was hesitant.
I think she did pretty. Yeah, same. I think she did good.
Amazing. Yeah, she did great. She was hilarious.
She was a perfect voice for it.
And actually, now think about it. She has that kind of like annoying voice. So she was and Scuttle's annoying. So she was perfect for it.
Right. She has that squawky.
Like Awkwafina is funny. Yeah, exactly.
She does have a squawky voice.
They did a good job. And I was like, oh, and the fact that they made it a woman, I was like, oh, they really changing it. Okay. They already mad. Now you changing Awkwafina to, oh, you trying to piss them off.
Yeah. Because they said Scuttle, it's one thing to have Awkwafina do the voice, but they said Scuttle was a her, right?
Yes, was a girl. So I was like, oh, y'all really trying to piss them off, but she did great.
Right.
Like, I don't care what they say. Like, she was funny. And I like Scuttlebutt. I'm not going to lie. I like the song. It was funny.
I like
Scuttlebutt.
It was annoying, but it was cute. It was funny.
Yeah.
It was cute.
I like Awkwafina. I do think her voice is being overplayed a little bit by, like, she's doing a lot of voiceover roles. Yeah. And she doesn't change her voice for, like, the... she voiced the dragon in Raya the Last Dragon. And then, what else? She did something else recently. I'm trying to remember what she did and look that up. But, like, her voice is very, like, her voice. And I like her. But I think this might be like, okay, let's stop here on voiceover work. Let's like do live action and whatnot. But like, I don't know whether I can do like one more Awkwafina voice.
That's fair.
You know, I'm trying to see. Oh, she was in The Bad Guys. That's what I saw recently with her voice.
What is she playing bad guys? What character?
The tarantula.
Oh my gosh, she sure did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, because I just saw the movie like a couple months ago. Forgot about that.
She has
sure did.
She has 4 more voice roles coming up. So
I'm seeing that.
sorry.
I'm seeing that
Lord
right
have
now.
mercy.
I'm looking at that right now.
One of them including Kung Fu Panda 4,
Of course.
which I didn't know was a thing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yay.
Um.
I mean,
she's
hey,
funny, so, kudos to her.
Yeah. I've been also watching her in Nora from Queens, and so I've been getting a lot of Awkwafina lately. So maybe it's my thing. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm getting a lot of Awkwafina.
No, she's been around a lot.
You guys like Scuttlebutt, the song? There
I
are
do.
3 new
I do.
songs in this.
The second time I listened to Scuttlebutt, I admit I was like, okay, this is cute. Because I can remember like this is still a kids movie, and it was cute. Like fuck it,
Yes, yeah.
You know, it's Scuttle and it's Scuttle and Sebastian Rappin, both played by rappers. It's cute.
Exactly.
Like okay, kudos. I loved that. Sorry, I loved Prince Eric's song. I love just in general how they made the relationship more of a mirroring of each other because they both feel stuck in their worlds and are not necessarily looking for romance or anything, but to expand their horizons and to like learn and all that. But love is a part of it, and the fact that I like that Eric got a song that kind of mirrored Ariel, and the fact that his study mirrors Ariel's grotto. They both have their little kind of secret stashes with things that they've collected.
That was so cute.
Very neurodivergent ass coded shit. Like I told my husband, I'm like, this is an ADHD couple. But I like that he got his song. As Amanda calls it, the down bad song. Is what she calls it, the down bad song.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize the study parallel.
Who?
Yeah, it looks exactly the same.
Who makes the song? His song? I forgot. He makes
Lynn.
it's like similar to all his other songs, right?
Lynn did all the new songs. Every
Really?
single new
He
song,
did all the new
I
songs.
believe.
I thought some
Lynn and Alan Menken.
Yeah.
I think. I believe Lynn and Alan Menken did all the new songs.
Got you.
But I enjoyed the addition of Wild Uncharted Waters.
It was over dramatic though, right? Like it was like high schooler being told that they're grounded for a week, and like, you know what I mean?
The drone footage.
You know what it is for me? Maybe if he like performed it better, I probably would have liked the song better. I just felt like while he was singing it, he was moving too much and he was walking around like he was drunk the entire time. He was like,
well, I think that's the point. I think that's the point though, because like the whole idea is that like he's enchanted by Ariel's like siren song. So he's a little.
So that's a choice.
Like I think it might be a directing choice. I could see why. Like now that you say, like when you say that, I could see why they would like he would emote that way, because the idea is that like he is intoxicated.
It's fine if he did it it's fine if he did it a couple times, but I felt like he did it the whole time where he was just like this. I was like, bro, you look crazy. Relax. Stop.
Is it sea
moving
legs?
like that so much?
Is it sea
I don't know,
legs?
but
you know what I mean?
He also has a head injury.
Also, I feel like he should have like hit up Zac Efron and like got some choreography tips, because Zac Efron bet it. Chef's kiss, he nailed it. He was by himself. He had the choreography down. I feel like the actor from that player could have got some tips from him.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was that, and I feel like if he just stood his ground for a little bit, like for a couple verses, I would have probably felt the song more. But I was just so distracted by him moving so much. On top of, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like the song. I feel like his singing didn't match the melody of the music. It was like, I don't know, there wasn't like a flow. It was like, oh no, I don't know. It was just a lot that I was like, okay. And then with that dancing, he was like, this is crazy. He was, and I'm glad he got a song. I just wish it was that one. No,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I loved it.
It was very musical theater.
Everyone, that's what it was. I don't feel like it matched the movie that much to me.
Yeah. Some people had pointed out
it wasn't bad though. It wasn't horrible, but
yeah. Some people pointed out that like he was complaining that he couldn't be on the ship, but then he went on the ship. But I don't think the ship is real, right? Like in that song.
It's not. It's in his head.
It's his fantasy of being out on the water and not being held back, right?
It's a fantasy.
Yeah.
It's in his head.
Okay.
It's like yeah.
Because some people pointed out how they didn't like, he was complaining that he couldn't be on the ship, and then he went on the ship. But the ship wasn't real.
It was definitely in his head. Yeah. I could see how people could be confused. Yeah, but it was definitely in his head.
Yeah. Did you guys like the actor? What's his name?
Yes.
Jonah Howard King.
Jonah Howard. Oh my God,
he did a great job.
He ate it up. Yeah. I think it was. Eric was always like a really sweet Disney prince, but I don't think he ever got a lot of personality in the original. And first of all, like Jonah looks exactly like Eric.
He does. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
Down to the fucking dimples. And I think he brought a very playful, charismatic, kind, and just like very sweet person.
He did a great job.
Eric. He's my favorite. That's my favorite live action prince. Not like there haven't been many, but I like up until now it's been the prince from Cinderella. I liked who played him? The guy from Game of Thrones.
It's always some white guy from Game of Thrones.
I love him.
It's hard. But Jonah, I think Jonah ate. I think Melissa McCarthy ate as well.
I thought she did a great job.
Really?
You didn't like her?
Really?
I think she did.
No. I liked her. I thought she did. No, she did great. I just didn't feel like she ate though, because she's not really a singer. So I feel like she mostly like said the words more so than sang it, because she's not fully a singer. And then also when she was talking, sometimes she kept doing this voice that sounded like she like smoked a pack of cigarettes. Like, darling, it's what I live for. No, I'm pushing it for, like you said. I don't know. Like she kept doing like, oh, like I don't know. But other than that, she did great. She was funny. I think my issue is once I saw Queen Latifah play Ursula.
That's a little
sorry.
When did Queen Latifah play?
You were great, but Queen Latifah ate Ursula up. I also saw.
She did the Hollywood Bowl, right? Was that the Hollywood Bowl?
No, it was
performance.
It was
Mermaid Live. Little Mermaid Live.
I forgot where it was.
Mermaid Live.
It was Little Mermaid Live. Yes, she killed it. She was an amazing Ursula. Like it was crazy. And also, I feel like I wish they hired more of a singer to play Ursula. Like I feel like what's the actress name that was on The Greatest Showman that played the theater lady?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
she would have killed it. She would have killed it. But Melissa did great. She did. And even watching it more, I was like, I liked her more and more when I watched it again.
I don't know. I disagree, because I think sometimes there's characters that like you don't have to necessarily be like a fantastic singer. I think some characters, like it's about the charisma. Like, because I didn't mind that. I personally didn't mind that Melissa McCarthy was like not the best singer, and that some of it was like talk singing, because I think Ursula Ursula is a vibes character. So is Ariel, but the voice is a hallmark of Ariel. Like you gotta have it all. Like
it's part of the
that's not an option. Yeah, like it's just not an option for most Disney princesses. Like it's just not an option. You've got to be a flawless soprano. That's just what it is. But Ursula, for me, I'm like, I think that her acting, the vibes were enough. The vibes were enough for me, at least.
Yeah. The vibes were sometimes only in certain scenes. Sometimes I felt like she was trying to be Ursula instead of like being Ursula. Where I felt like Halle made Ariel into her own, where she put her own, like how Halle was like being more natural than instead of being more animated, which made it her own, but also embody the innocence and like all of that Ariel is. Where I feel like Ursula, I don't know, I just feel like she's just trying to be like Ursula instead of being Ursula in certain times of her acting. But other than that, she did great. She was funny. Yeah. Like to see the what? Like I don't know. She was funny. She was great. Yeah,
it was great. The delivery of lines like that. Like
yes.
She was
like, what?
No. Oh, here it is. I found it.
Oh, that I had me. Oh my god, had me laid out.
Yeah. So I love stuff like that. That was great. But I don't know. Like I guess some of the monologues, which this is what Ursula did, so I don't know why. It just felt like she was trying to act like Ursula during the monologues. And
well, I feel like you can go one or two ways with characters like that, because it's like there's characters like that, it's all about being over the top. You could go over the top, or you could go with someone that like, oh, this person like embodies, like Maleficent, like Angelina wasn't, I don't think she was trying to be Maleficent, she was just being Maleficent.
Exactly.
But you can go either way, and I think they went that way. And if that's indeed the case, I think like choosing to make Ursula like Ursula is one of the more flamboyant ones. So I could see the directing. I could see the directing being way more dramatic for Melissa than like for Halle.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
The Jafar in the live action Aladdin, I liked him, but he was not enough, right? Like he was
no, he was not Jafar. He was not intimidating whatsoever.
He was also too good
looking.
Jafar served cunt in original Aladdin. Okay, like no, like seriously, like Jafar is one of the most like he wasn't enough.
Also too good looking. Jafar, like, have you seen that guy in real life? That actor?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He's ripped.
I passed by him at a premiere once.
Yeah.
I was like, Jafar?
You're too cute to be Jafar.
Jafar?
I think maybe it was his voice. I feel like it was probably like his voice.
His voice.
Yeah, it wasn't giving Jafar at all. In fact, it didn't give intimidating. I was like, oh God, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gave
great guy, I'm sure. Just no.
Yeah.
It gave like whiny.
Yes.
It was whiny.
Yeah.
Jafar has that deep like.
Yes.
You know, got the sass. Like it wasn't given.
Prince Abubu.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of Prince Abubu. I don't know. I can't.
I don't even think he delivered that line.
I don't remember. But talk about an actor who didn't have, two actors in the same role that didn't have to sing much is Robin Williams and Will Smith. Like playing the genie, they didn't have to sing much. Robin Williams not a singer. Will Smith,
no,
you know,
He's a rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can sing.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm sorry, but to me, Will Smith saved that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. Will Smith did really good at
he did really good, and he said he kind of like with his acting, he kind of brought it back to like Fresh Prince, and I saw that, and I loved Fresh Prince, so I was here for it. I was like, yes, bring back the Fresh Prince energy, and he did, and I loved it. It worked.
It was a different.
I think
type
Will
of
Smith
beauty.
and
That was
Robin.
COVID.
Yeah, well, I think both Will Smith and Robin have this quality that a lot of comedic actors have. Like, they're very funny, but when they are serious, when they have their serious moments, it is just so heart-wrenching and like emotive
Yeah.
that it hits you just as hard as their comedy does. I think like Robin Williams had that quality, both in animated and like live action stuff, or like, yeah, and Will has that too. Like when the genie was set free and he gives Aladdin that hug, and it's just like his acting and that, I remember that.
Yeah.
You know, like just like wow. So
I love Aladdin, and so I have a blind spot to the live action Aladdin. I was just happy to get a live action Aladdin.
Yeah.
And I understand it's not everything that anyone needed it to be, but I was like, I was just happy to be there. But
yeah, I mean, it was good. It wasn't bad. It was good.
Yeah, but
I liked Aladdin.
I had a good time watching it. Yeah.
Yeah. Nina Masood,
but
though,
I
on
would definitely
Twitter, talking about Little Mermaid. You remember that? It came like a week or two ago.
Yeah, remind me what he said, and I'm very disappointed in him because
who?
I'm very disappointed. The guy that played Aladdin in the live action said some stuff.
Oh, I think I heard kind of something about that.
Yeah. Okay.
What did he say?
What did he say?
I'm gonna find the. I'm trying to. No. I gotta find it, but
I'll look it up.
He had to delete his Twitter to do it, like, or after doing it, like.
He deleted his Twitter.
Yes.
Okay, so okay.
Was it that bad?
He said he was talking about his Aladdin movie as compared to Little Mermaid. So he said our film was unique, Aladdin, in that audiences went to watch it multiple times. It's the only way we reached the $1 billion mark with our opening. My guess is Little Mermaid doesn't cross the 1 billion mark, but will undoubtedly get a sequel. So he's
haterade.
He's hating that, like, he doesn't think Little Mermaid is going to make that much money. But then he's also saying that, like, even if it doesn't make the money, it's gonna get a sequel. I wonder why. Like, that's the vibe I was getting, you know?
The microaggressive.
It was microaggressive.
Why do you care?
Yeah. Right.
Message underneath that. That's very frustrating.
Yeah.
That's very, very frustrating.
You know.
Why would Aladdin get a sequel? It actually makes sense for Little Mermaid to get a sequel because the Little Mermaid had a sequel of her having a daughter, which I doubt they'll do, but
Aladdin had a sequel too. It had two. And a
they
cartoon.
did?
It had two sequels.
What was that about?
Return of Jafar.
Oh, right.
Came back. And then King of Thieves, where his dad comes back. And
and Robin Williams comes back.
I forgot all about that one.
Yeah, and Robin Williams comes back.
Because Return of Jafar had Dan Castellaneta, who does the voice of Homer Simpson. He took over for Robin Williams because Robin had this falling out with Disney. So he did Return of Jafar, and he did the cartoon series that takes place after Return of Jafar. And then Robin Williams came back for King of Thieves.
The cartoon series was hilarious, by the way.
I loved the Aladdin cartoon series.
I have to watch it again.
It was so fucking funny. I found it on YouTube. On a whim. And rewatch some of that. I'm like, wait a minute, this eats like.
They brought in
the only thing I remember. Okay, so was this a TV show where Jasmine turns into a snake?
Probably in an
episode. Was there an episode about
that? They had a lot, like
probably.
They had that
because that's the only thing I remember is them two turning into a snake.
That probably happened. I think Jasmine turned into. They even had a Hercules crossover episode.
Yeah.
Like it was. I gotta watch this.
Before the multiverse, before No Way Home, we had that.
Yeah. Because Jafar was in hell, and Hades teams up with Jafar, and that's how.
Why does that seem familiar? Gosh, I haven't watched this stuff since I was a kid, so I really don't remember any of this. It's crazy, and I know there's even a Little Mermaid TV show. I think I watched that too, but I don't remember any of them except, the Little Mermaid 2, which ate my movie. Loved the music.
It did.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. But yeah, everything else, I don't know why I need to watch them again because I don't remember.
Yeah.
I was a kid.
It was a lifetime ago. It was literally a lifetime ago.
It was.
Yeah.
And I know Mina Masood probably shot down all his chances at this happening. But as I was watching this movie, Little Mermaid, I was seeing Triton, Javier Bardem, using magic and his trident and whatnot. I thought to myself, wouldn't it be an easy crossover to do a live action Hercules, Aladdin, Little Mermaid crossover? Like, you know what I mean?
Hercules
like,
would be an interesting live action to do. I wonder.
Yeah. I think they're doing a live
action. Isn't that in the works?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that in the works right now? Yeah.
Hercules?
So. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's in the early stages, but yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't cast anyone.
I know he's been Okay.
But they're,
I know that he's been introduced
into
the MCU. I know that Hercules just got introduced in the MCU.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Which, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Into the Hercules verse.
Sure.
Bring all the different Hercules.
Yeah.
But because they developed a live action stage show, like, a couple years ago, but then Disney is doing weirdly enough with director Guy Ritchie. That's all we know, as far as I know.
That makes sense. Guy Ritchie did the live action Aladdin.
Yeah, and he did something else recently that I forget.
Covenant.
I mean, maybe.
I know he did the Sherlock Holmes movies.
Yeah.
And he's a pretty he does a very good he did the Covenant. Okay,
that was his recent movie that came out. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he yeah.
So let's talk some criticisms of this movie.
Okay.
Where did it fall short? Because we love the movie, but we got to be able to
I will say the ending when Ariel comes back to, Eric and Ariel meet again was kind of underwhelming for me. Why they got her in that same dress again? The dress was cute, but they would not leave that dress alone. She held on to that dress for dear life. I was hoping for the sparkly dress. I'm sorry, I wanted the sparkly dress. So for her to come back in that raggedy dress, it's not right. It was a cute dress, but it, ended up being raggedy now. It was ripped in the ocean. And for her to come back in that, I'm like, well, that's underwhelming. Hoping for something I mean, it's more realistic.
For practicality, that's the only dress she has. And why would a mermaid have a dress laying around? I don't know.
Bro,
a lot of people
Triton.
He can make
a lot of
people wanted this. He can make her human.
He can make her sparkly dress. He can do it. Yeah. He got power to do it.
Very good point.
So there's no
a lot of people very disappointed about the sparkly dress.
Like a fairy godmother. He does the trident and he's like,
yes. He did it. He could have done it. It's a mermaid. He has a trident. He can do it. He can make that happen.
Or crazy idea, they take a bunch of seaweed and kelp and it sounds like a joke, but make it a nice dress from the things in the ocean. You know what I mean? Not man's materials, but sea material. I don't know. You can make a nice dress out of it, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
I think that was the main thing. And again, sorry, the song. And another thing this is where people think, oh, well, you're biased because you like the movie and you are even no, I'm not biased. There is one critique for me when it comes to Hallie. When King Triton came back to life, I felt like her reaction should have been more I don't know, more reactive. Oh my God, Dad, you're alive. You know what I mean? Instead of being so formal with it.
Yeah.
And just giving it back here you go. I didn't do it alone, Father. I'm like, bro, a little bit more of a reaction. Your father came back to life,
Right.
I don't know. I was expecting a hug, a heartwarming situation. They had it at the end, of course, but I don't know.
I think the fact that I think the fact that that was a little more like strict maybe I think for me it probably made the ending hug like that much more emotional because they hadn't shown like that much like I don't know like demonstrations of love between them a lot.
Yeah.
So like I don't know,
which is fair.
so, like when
yeah.
So when they had the final, like I started boo-hooing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like which I didn't expect by the way. I was like, why am I crying?
I think because more so she had such a huge reaction to him dying, she would have at least a bigger reaction to him coming back to life. Like,
I could see that.
Oh my God, you know what I mean? You're not dead. So that's, I guess, the only thing I can say. Other than that, I think there was one more. No, I think those are the only three, which is why I gave it an 8.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I was looking at the production schedule. It started filming January 30th of 2021. So that's like COVID, era stuff. So the question is, were they even in the same room? Like with all the CGI that was there, who was actually there together, working with each other?
I mean, regardless of COVID and stuff, a lot of the times when we're dealing with green screen, a lot of the time the actors are not in the same room as their co-stars. A lot of time, or just like logistics of logistics of filmmaking, scheduling. Like some actors are doing other movies and shows at the same time, or press tours for other shows and movies, or just like or reshoots need to be done, and schedules and stuff in human error. Like a lot of the time, like for like green screen heavy stuff, like Civil War, when like in that scene where they're at the airport and they all run, they're running towards each other, both sides. The only one that's physically there is Scarlett Johansson.
Oh,
stop! I had no idea.
Aside from the characters that are very obviously CGI, like Iron Man and Spider-Man, like Chris Evans ain't there. It's like Chadwick's not there. Like it's just Scarlett.
Can you imagine her showing up and then being like, "Wait, we just zoom in on this one?
Where is everyone? Like, where is everyone?"
Marvel, I think Marvel does that a lot to the actors. Like, where's this movie? Yep.
We'll fix it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's interesting.
Sorry, a scene that I wanted to talk about, and it's not a criticism, it's actually a scene that I really, really liked, was Ariel telling her name. Because Ariel
was
so cute.
That was so clever.
The most chemistry I've seen from them. Like, was that scene, right?
Kicking my feet. I was like giggling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved it.
How did she do it in the cartoon?
Hearing the crab.
Remember.
He just guessed. The crab tells him. Yeah. Sebastian is like, her name is Ariel.
Ariel. Like, you heard the crab, really?
He just says it in a Jamaican accent.
Yeah. Ariel.
Her name is Ariel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ariel.
But like, in this, it was Aries, right?
Yes, which makes sense. Also, I'm an Aries. So I'm an
Aries too.
Oh my God!
I'm an Aries rising.
Oh, cool.
Love that. You give that Aries vibe. I love it. Wait, when's your birthday?
April 6th.
Oh, you're an April Aries. Okay, I'm March 28th.
Oh, March Aries. Totally different type of Aries.
Yes, we're crazy. Yeah, I know. March Aries are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I'm just
you Aries. Aprils are way more chill.
Yeah.
Than March Aries.
All I know is
I'm a Leo. I'm your cousin.
Stop! I'm a Leo rising.
I'm an Aries rising. Yeah.
I know. And I'm a Leo rising.
I don't know. I don't know what rising.
I know. I liked you. You don't know what's rising? Oh, get on that.
I don't.
Gotta get on it.
It's enough to know that I'm an Aries, right? Like that's it.
No.
No, it's not. No.
All right.
You gotta know the whole chart.
All right.
It explains everything. Promise.
I'll get Halle Bailey to explain Aries to me if she does that thing. with the lips.
Oh my god, so
that she
cute.
did. I was like,
It was
oh.
That was so
cute.
cute. Just their little moments.
They had
And I'm
such
sorry,
wonderful, cute
chemistry.
moments.
Yeah.
Such good chemistry.
So there.
Did you guys know that
fucking
the Kiss the Girl scene was the very first scene they filmed?
I heard about that recently, which is wild.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was the first scene they filmed working. And that is crazy that they embodied that much chemistry day one of filming.
Yeah.
Together. That's crazy.
I mean, when you got it, you got it. Like,
you got it.
You know,
They
I'm an
got
actor
it.
as well, and
That's
I've had,
true.
you know, stage husbands. I've had stage husbands and stuff that, like, you know, you get cast together, and some they're okay, but some, like, you just vibe and you become friends like right away and very, very comfortable. And when the chemistry and the friendship is there, like it emotes on screen and on stage, and it's just so fun. It makes things so easy.
The worst,
and it makes it fun for people watching.
The worst is the opposite. Like I've been on stage with stage romantic interests where it's like there's nothing.
Yo,
you're just acting like it's yeah.
You know what's crazy? I'm more impressed because I've heard stories where like the love interest can't stand each other in real life, but you would never guess it on screen. Example, Vampire Diaries. Stefan and Elena, they did not like each other when they first season or second season. They could not stand each other, and well, now they're best friends, but I would have never guessed it considering their romance on the show. But sorry, getting off topic. That's my ADHD.
I had to look it up, but okay, yeah, those two. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good show. You should watch it.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Sorry. It's all good. It's all good.
I would watch True Blood before I watched Vampire Diaries, I think, and I've never seen True Blood.
That's fair.
What was I getting at though?
I know.
Where were we?
But we were talking about under the
we were at the lagoon scene. How she tells
her to do that. So cute. I loved that scene. And Scuttles, of course, was hilarious. The bout chica. Wow.
Very.
That was great.
Yeah. What was I?
The song was really good.
Did you guys have any criticism about the CGI? Because I do have criticisms about the CGI. Did it ruin the experience for me? No. But
no.
You know.
Was it like Avatar good? No.
It didn't.
But it was still good.
Nothing is ever gonna be it. Like
exactly.
I did a spot for Avatar. I did a spot for Disney when Wave of Water came out. It took 15 years to develop that technology. And it's so expensive. There's a reason why, you know, it took $2 billion to break even. And for, you know, people out there complaining, like, you complain about Disney doing these as cash grabs and spending so much money on or they're spending too much money, or you didn't spend enough money on the CGI. Again, because of the shit surrounding Halle's casting, be fucking for real. Like, you didn't have these complaints during Beauty and the Beast. We all had them during Lion King because of reasons. Like, but you never had shit to say about this stuff. Like, the Way of Water technology was never going to be practical for this movie. And it's taught, like, I mean, it's talking fish.
Yeah. But
like,
I think considering, I thought it was amazing. Like, they did a great job.
Yeah.
Again, it's not like the Way of Water type, but like she said,
nothing.
It was really expensive. Took 15 years. Yeah, of course not. It's not going to be that good, but like it was still great. What were your critiques on it?
I think that like there were certain like swimming scenes where the faces get kind of weird, where it's like, are they going with like a water, like in like trying to film through water and trying to like the faces get weird, or is it just kind of wonky CGI? I don't know.
Yeah.
My biggest critique,
like with the jellyfish.
What happened with jellyfish?
Area? where she landed on a jellyfish? Do you mean like that? Because I feel like the face was a little, the CGI was a little.
I noticed
there,
it in that in the beginning shipwreck scene where the shark comes in. I noticed kind of there that her face didn't look like she was really there. That's what I noticed. I have to watch it again to kind of figure out exactly what. I don't know what they're going for. But I think a bigger critique to me is I didn't get to see enough of the sisters.
Yeah.
So many sisters, and I know it's not their story. I know. But like also you set up names, individual designs, and you like barely see
Yeah.
There's a lot of effort into those sisters.
But you know what? They got more time in this one than they did in the original.
Yeah.
Very true. I think the only difference is they didn't get to sing like the original, which is a lot of people wanted. Fair, but considering they added 3 extra songs, we didn't need that. So we didn't.
Yeah.
And also people got upset about Chef Pierre, whatever. I personally whatever his name is, I honestly did not care that was in it.
Somebody brought up the fact that like we can't see like murdering fish like after there's
some things that translate different in cartoons that you can't do in live action, and like I think sometimes like you have to pick and choose like what stays and what goes and what's going to translate well on screen. And like as much as we love to see that chef try and kill Sebastian, like in the cartoon, like but some things just don't translate.
I'm kind of glad they didn't put it in though, because I felt like the original movie to me felt more like it was about Sebastian helping Ariel than more just about Ariel, where I feel like the live action was just about Ariel, because Sebastian had more songs, I feel like, within more scenes than Ariel, you know what I mean? So especially with the chef situation, like that extra, it was just like it wasn't needed for the live action, especially with the extra 2 songs. So I was okay with it.
I think it would have messed up the pacing, and it would have taken us out of the story.
Exactly. It's just like a little extra funny bit that wasn't necessarily needed.
I liked Ariel coming in on Under the Sea. That's not in the original, right?
No.
Like she
doesn't say Under the Sea.
She sang with Sebastian Under the Sea, kind of.
Yeah, right? I like that. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, it worked. Again, get Hallie to do as much singing as possible.
Exactly.
No there.
Exactly.
I think that's. I know people complain about that because in the original, all the fish, like it's a whole chorus, like they're singing. But I also think that might also be part of that lesson learned from Lion King, where you're having like animals mimic human emotion, like either by talking or singing, and it just did not work. So I imagine, again, another thing that translated okay or well in hand drawn, that it just was not going to translate in CGI. And I think that was probably a smart choice to have her sing instead. She's right there.
You know what was also a smart choice?
Take advantage.
Also a smart choice not to show the blackfish that they do in the cartoon.
Oh my God! Yes, I remember that.
In Under the Sea, he brings up the blackfish, and in comes a blackfish in the cartoon.
Like coded African Americanly animated fish.
Yes. I'm trying to look up. Yeah.
It is coded as a black woman.
Yes.
And she does like an Aretha belt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Remember?
Yes. Yeah. I remember. Oh my God, right. Did you know they also changed the lyrics to Under the Sea? Not Under the Sea. Kiss the Girl. They changed the lyrics a little bit.
Yeah.
I liked.
What was it was very small changes, right? What was?
Yeah, it was very small.
Use your words and ask her.
Yeah.
Use your words. He said, use your words and ask her.
Yes, because we love a consent daddy. We love a consent boy.
We like consent. Yeah.
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 And she has to like you too.
They took
like,
out,
ask her.
Yeah. They took out part of Ursula's song too, which people complained about. But I get why they did it.
I get why they did it.
I get
it
why.
Sucks because I love that part. I loved that part, but I get why they did it. Because she wouldn't have remembered anyway. So why would she need to use body language and all like that? Because she doesn't remember the deal anyway. So it makes sense. It just sucks and I love that part. I get it.
It's an iconic moment. Like, you have your looks, your pretty face, and don't underestimate the importance of body
language. Oh, I love that, but I get it.
I get it. Yeah. Like, that's the thing. It's like, for almost me personally, for every criticism, I could see, I can still see the decision making behind it.
Yeah.
And it makes, to me, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I can be sad about it, but I can understand it.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is what good criticism person does. Like, it's to criticize things.
Yeah.
I think they knew they had to go balls. They knew they had to go balls to the wall for this movie because of the shit surrounding Halle Bailey's casting.
Yeah.
And with a Black woman being the lead, and knowing like the
poor girl.
Intentional sabotage that was done from that moment on, they knew that they had to put their entire mermaid tale into it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, you know who else was good? Oh, God.
I don't know whether you're going to say the same as I was going to say.
Sorry.
Who are you going to say?
Vanessa.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah. She killed it.
Yeah.
She had 10 seconds of screen time, and she ate everyone.
Yeah.
Ate everyone. I was like, yes. Oh, my gosh. She did amazing.
Amazing.
Good for her.
Amazing.
I just don't like how they're like, just for that little bit that she did, they are overshadowing Halle's performance.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she's white, pretty, whatever. So, and I mean, Halle's gorgeous too, but because she's Black, of course, they're going to give the white girl way more chops than the lead role and be like, yeah, you should have been Little Mermaid the whole time.
I heard that too.
Which is crazy. Yeah. She's actually blocking people that say that.
Yeah. Well, she keeps saying she can't sing. She says she can't sing. She outright says, I can't sing. Halle was the right choice. Like, no one can do it better, blah, blah, blah.
What's funny, what's hilarious is that a lot of people are saying, based on Vanessa's song, they're like, oh my gosh, she should have been Ariel then. And these are the same people that I assume are the Little Mermaid super fans that have been mad for 2 years or whatever. And you mean to tell me that you don't know that the whole premise is that her voice is stolen? So that's Halle Bailey's voice.
Yeah.
Yes, they really thought that was her voice. No, they didn't.
Idiot. Like, that's her. Yeah,
they
did
not that dumb.
These so-called Little Mermaid super fans that are so mad that she doesn't have the right hair and she's not white, and they seem to know everything about the 1989, and they didn't know. Like, Jodie Benson voices Vanessa in the animated, as well as Ariel, because the bitch stole her voice. Because the bitch stole her voice. So it's just like, it's such a, there really couldn't be a more blatant demonstration of racism, because it's the same voice coming out of, and based on your perception, it came out of two different people, but you liked it when you thought it was coming out of a white girl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you thought it was. And and it's really sad, because it takes away from any praise that Jessica Alexander deserves, and she does deserve, because she did so fucking well.
Yeah.
And it takes away from any praise that both her and Halle, it takes away from both of their praises, because obviously, you know, it's the continued intentional degradation of a Black woman. Yeah. And then, like, any praise that Jess is getting for her performance, which she deserves, is automatically tied to racism. And so she doesn't even get to enjoy it. So she doesn't get to enjoy that.
Exactly. And that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, I would give Ariel the movie. It definitely gave Cinderella Brandy vibes. That's what it gave me. And I love it. And it actually makes me wonder, how did they feel when Brandy was Cinderella back then?
The same.
Yeah.
The same.
Because I mean, anytime I
similar.
hear about her movie with anyone, they say, "Oh, it's my favorite movie. I love it." And this comes from all white people, so I'm like,
yeah,
I'm
now
confused. How? Yeah, now that's what I'm saying. Probably now, because like, how did y'all feel back then when Brandy became Cinderella?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was similar. It was a similar experience. It's like it happens over and over again. Like,
because I was too young to like know how she was treated during that time, so I have no idea how she was treated.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. When I watched it when it came out on TV. Like, it was just me and my family watching it, so I didn't hear anything because I don't even know the internet was around back then. But like,
well, yeah, maybe because social media wasn't a thing, we didn't hear it as much.
Yeah, but I'm sure there. I'm sure there were families that turned it on, being like, "Oh, Cinderella." They see it and they're like, "Never mind." Like, I'm sure. You know.
Yeah,
I'm certain. I'm very certain.
There just wasn't Twitter.
I'm sorry, that was the best Cinderella movie.
It was to this day. Like,
still this day, still the best Cinderella movie. And then next would be Hilary Duff.
Oh,
I love Hilary Duff.
Yeah.
And then next, the live action.
Yeah.
I did like the live action.
I love the Cinderella story. I like the live action, but sorry.
I really liked the live action.
Yeah, same.
Cinderella.
I never saw it.
But the music just hit.
It's good.
Brandy's Cinderella.
Good watch.
Music was hit. So she wins.
Whitney's godmother.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Whitney's godmother.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Let's do better than that.
Is the Little Mermaid
not fair?
Is the Little Mermaid the best live action adaptation that Disney's done?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd say so. Yep.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
For me,
I'm trying to think of all of them.
Yeah. Cinderella was a favorite of mine. I think you should watch it.
Cinderella's good.
I cried watching Cinderella. Like it also fleshed out the prince more in Cinderella, so that was nice.
Yeah.
And then there was Beauty and the Beast, and there was Lion King. There was Aladdin. I enjoyed Aladdin.
I would say Aladdin second.
I enjoyed Aladdin. I think that and Peter Pan and Wendy came out this year as well. Yo, we don't Mulan.
We don't talk. I didn't see it, so I don't.
Yo,
is it bad? Is Mulan bad?
I think it's the worst.
Oh.
So
I think
I didn't see it. There's no Mushu.
Yeah, there's no Mushu.
No.
There's no Mushu in Mulan, right?
So once I found that out.
Besides that, because I could understand a decision to cut a stereotypical black sidekick character with a stereotypical, whatever. But like I said, like, we love Mushu, but I could understand that. Mulan, at least what I heard from the Asian community.
Yeah.
And my husband is Filipino, he's Asian, and so he had a lot of the same criticisms when we watched him. Like, it's another, you just made it a kung fu movie that is definitely made by white people. There were little to no Asian people really involved in the cultural consultation and like even the music production, like, not involved in that. There was no music. Like I said, it was just another kind of exoticized kung fu movie with no attachment to any characters, just flat, just wow. Which is really disappointing because Mulan is another. Mulan is one of my favorites. They wasted that shot.
And there was no singing, right? There was no singing.
None. No, none.
See, absolutely none. That's also a problem.
My God.
No music. I have a problem. I have a problem with that's another problem. I have a problem with that and Raya, the Last Dragon, like, which was good, but there was no music. And
Yeah.
I liked it. But there was no singing, and they were really boasting that this was like the first like Southeast Asian princess.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I think it's a sign of disrespect to not have a song and you're a Disney princess. I think that's a sign of disrespect.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah.
Fact.
I think like
I mean the movie was good, but it would have been better.
Yeah.
With the music.
You don't get a flagship song like, you know.
Yeah. That's fair.
That's disrespectful to me, like in my opinion.
Now thinking of all the live actions, Little Mermaid is number one in my books. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very well casted, and then Aladdin would be second, and then Cinderella. Unless we're talking about Peter Pan in the early 2000s, then that's number one.
The Jeremy Sumpter one, the one with the Coldplay song in the trailer.
Yes. That would be number one, or Brandy Cinderella. Actually, Brandy Cinderella probably too.
Brandy Cinderella's gotta, it's gotta stay up there.
If that's also
allowed
counting, then I think that's number one, and then Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay. Okay, Brandy Cinderella.
Yeah, I'd put them as twins.
Yeah,
because they are similar. They are very similar.
Yeah,
they are
very, 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 very. Even like there are definitely times in Little Mermaid where I had a flashback to Brandy. I'm like, this feels. I've been here before. Like,
I think what got me was the mother being black.
The mom. That was it. That was exactly.
Come on with the Cinderella vibe. I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Talk about a blind casting. I love it. It makes it more genuine. It's like, oh, so you guys are really just picking good actors instead of just, you know what I mean? Like they legit pick great actors.
Yeah. And they made it work, right? Like he was adopted. He was like, yeah, cool. By the way, was Grimsby and the Queen, were they a thing?
Great.
Because
Oh, I don't think so.
I kept turning to my mom and being like, so. Are they together? They hold hands in like one scene? I don't know.
He has her on his arm.
Yeah, that there, yeah.
But that's more like etiquette. I think they were friends. Like I think they're like
they were more than friends.
Listen, I know I know etiquette is rare for men in 2023.
Yeah.
But back then it was a thing.
Why are you taking shots at me? I'm just trying to get normal.
I'm just saying.
I'm just shipping Grimsby and the Queen.
I'm just saying.
That's a ship I haven't heard.
He was nice. I liked Grimsby. Like I thought.
Oh, he was great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Grimsby was cool.
Really
when he kicked the ring away, I was laid out when he kicked that ring away.
Yeah.
He was like, Team Ariel, fuck Vanessa, he said.
Yeah. And he was covering for Ariel and Eric, you know, when they went out.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. So
he was
so
a real
cute.
one.
The dog was
sweet.
adorable. The dog was also adorable.
Same dog.
The exact same dog.
Same Max.
Very great.
Yeah.
Yeah. The movie was just great.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked it a lot. As we close up this talk, because I'm sure we can get down to the nitty gritty and go for a couple more hours. But what happens after this movie? Is it a standalone movie? Is there a sequel? I'm sure. I mean, you can make a sequel out of anything, but like, will they? Because they haven't done it for any of the other Disney movies.
I don't think so.
It's a one and done.
I think that it's never been. I think this. It's already being considered like one of the best, if not the best, live action. It's number one in the world right now. I don't think any other live action has had this level of success. Little Mermaid has already been a fan favorite. The sequel to Little Mermaid, Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea, has also always been a fan favorite, I think. And we're enamored. Everyone's enamored with Ariel and Eric and their chemistry. Like it's one of the fans' favorite things about the movie. I think for the first time, if there is demand, it's possible.
Yeah.
for the first time. Possible.
This
Maybe
this
not
would be it. If they're
guaranteed.
gonna do it, they're gonna do it here.
Because it was just like the chemistry between Ariel and Eric was just so good. And like it just, it just had it evoked such a visceral reaction from just, audiences, not just Black women and not just Black girls, but like just everybody. I think if there's enough fan demand, it's possible. Because like Melissa McCarthy was a fan casting years ago.
Yeah.
Like fans make things happen. Fans can make things happen. Melissa McCarthy was a fan casting. Emma Watson was a fan casting for Belle back in the Tumblr days. Like, if there's enough demand, the studios will make it happen. So I don't know, man. Like, let's see it.
And
also.
Oh, what's up?
Sorry, I was wrong. Number 1 for me is Cruella.
Oh,
really?
Cruella. I forgot about Cruella.
I forgot about Cruella, which is crazy because I loved that movie. She killed it. Emma killed it.
I also realized Maleficent's also.
Maleficent.
Right?
Oh my God, Maleficent. And they did two
They did
movies.
Two
they did, yeah.
They did.
Yes, they did.
So
they
it's
did.
possible.
Yeah, they did do a sequel. Yeah, it's totally possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the only roadblock would be that because they look so young.
Exactly. I don't think they can do with the daughter because they're too young.
I don't want them to do the daughter.
Exactly. Not exactly. I don't think they can. So I don't know what else they would do.
12. Yeah, Melody is 12. Well, if they did a sequel, what people are going to want to see? They're going to want to see Melody. So
exactly.
Like, and Melody is 12
right now. Yeah, I don't think they can right now. That's why I was like, I don't know what else they would do. So I don't see it happening. Probably like 10 years later, maybe.
I don't want Halle Bailey to get like Ariel to get knocked up young. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I don't know whether that's
both of them read as babies.
Yeah.
Right. Especially Halle.
And the way the story ended is like they're about to start their journey now. I feel like they're not like, doing what usual fairy tales do where they get married and live happily ever after and like just have a baby and you know what I mean?
Right.
No, they're actually like traveling and actually, doing stuff.
Maybe they go to Greece.
That might be a choice.
Hercules. I don't know,
Yeah. I mean, that might be an intentional choice to wrap up the story and maybe like close off the possibility of a sequel because like in the original Ariel just goes to live with Eric, but now that they're out and they're doing things, it's like,
didn't they say something about uncharted waters?
Yeah. It could be the Little Mermaid, Uncharted Waters.
Exactly.
Next sequel.
I mean, I think it leaves it open.
Could be.
Maybe.
They can make a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch it. So.
Yeah.
I sure will.
If they do it, I'll watch it.
We got a first time chatter out here. New Booger Bit says definitely the first time I want a sequel to these. And then also says I'd like them to do something else. Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Little Mermaid, Uncharted Waters. Like
Uncharted Waters.
Why wouldn't it be? But
you should pitch it.
Yeah. You heard it here first. As we close things up, I want to thank both of you so much for being on the show, talking with me, talking to us about the Little Mermaid. I don't know if you guys have any last minute thoughts about the movie. Like, I want to see it do well. I wanted to keep going. I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel. Where and when, I don't know, but
exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Everything you just said, I agree.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I realized what I was gonna say is that like suddenly at the end the mermaids and the humans are just chilling with each other, and that like Abercrombie and Fitch model comes out. That guy like with the 6-pack just like pops himself out and poses like he's doing like a shoot. And I'm like, where did this guy go? This guy wasn't anywhere in this whole movie. And like suddenly he's out posing on a rock. He's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that I thought was interesting. Like they're just chilling now.
Well, I think, well, no, because if you heard, they used to come up the surface. It used to be okay. And that's why they know about mermaid people, because they did go up the surface until Ariel's mom died by a human. Yeah. And that's when the dad forbid it. And then Ariel changed that again. And now they're coming back to the surface.
Yeah.
They brought peace, which was very cute.
Are they gonna intermit?
I want to watch it again now. Oh my God, I cried so much.
I cried at that part.
3 times. It still made me cry. And also because of my daddy issues, that struck
me. Oh my God. Every time someone has a good dad, I'm like, oh, must be nice.
Must be nice.
Must be so great, especially if it's a girl. I'm like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah, right. Also, we didn't even really talk about King Triton, the actor. He did amazing too.
Javier Bardem.
Javier did so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved him.
I was surprised. I didn't.
He was adorable.
I know he's a great actor, but like,
yeah,
I don't know him under.
He really embodied King Triton. Like he had that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the leader, but I'm also a father, and I care about my baby girl. Like it was so cute, and I love that, and I love the scenes with him and Sebastian, and you know, back to the original, they did a great job.
Was he?
I boohooed when he was like. When he was like, "There's only when the one of the last lines was like, there's only one problem left. How much I'm gonna miss her." I boohooed. I boohooed.
Yes.
Hey,
I literally said the line, but then he said, "How much I'm gonna miss my baby girl." I'm like, not the baby girl.
It was a good, healthy father is very underrated. You know?
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so refreshing to see.
Yeah. Did you hear I keep thinking about new things. Did you hear Javier Bardem's interview stating that all his daughters are to the same mother? Like all the mermaids, they're all born from the same mother.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, he wanted to say that like it wasn't Triton going around to different mermaids. It was one mother. They all share the same mother. I don't know whether this is canon or not, but he did say that the ocean in which they're conceived, that culture gives a mermaid. You know what I mean?
Each one of Triton's daughters originally did represent the 7 seas, and in this one, the cultural makeup of each daughter is the ocean, like Indira is like who's played by Simone Ashley, the Indian Ocean. Like so, each one is now they're
Why
raised
did they
and
change the names?
I think to indicate what sea they're in. So like Indira's from the Indian Ocean. I think there's one called Caspia from the Caspian Sea.
Got you.
There's one.
That makes sense.
There's one with like a Italian or Spanish name. She's the Mediterranean, and then I think that establishes that Ariel is the Caribbean, and that's why the setting is Caribbean.
And she's the only one without an A ending on her name because she's different. Like it ends.
Oh, is she?
They all end with A. In the cartoon, they all start with A, including Ariel.
Start with A.
In this, they all end with A, and Ariel's the only one left out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even notice that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good little known detail.
Yeah.
Good eye. We're good here.
Once again, I want to thank the DA Experience 83 on Twitch, who also said, "Won't lie, I tear up every time she hits that riff on Part of Your World." Oh, it sent shivers up my spine, that song.
Yep. Killed that song, man. Listen,
the applause at
that whole album all week. It's so good.
Yeah.
The applause at the premiere was roaring. Like people were, there were people sobbing behind me. Like everyone just screamed when this, like just at different parts in the song, like when she goes up, like right before ready to stand up, like that, like when she puts her little Hallie spins into the song, it's just like,
oof.
Slay me.
Did you say fillet you?
Hits ya.
Slay me.
I heard
fillet.
Or fillet me.
Yeah.
Slay me.
Sure.
It goes with it. It goes
That
with
is
the theme.
so awesome that you got to go to the premiere. Oh, that's amazing.
It was such a privilege. Such a privilege. I was so like, yeah, it is such a privilege to be able to go to these things where the filmmakers are, and like, just to see it for the first time with them. It's oh my God, it's just such an honor.
That's so amazing.
God. Yeah, it was an emotional time.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you both of you so much for coming on the show and talking with me about the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, of course.
It's a pleasure, especially because it's the first time for both of you being on the show, so I really appreciate it. And I want to know though, before we get going, where can we find you online? So like social media. What do you got coming up? If there's anything you want to plug, now's a good time to go over that. Nicque, do you want to go first?
Yeah, you can find me on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram at Nicque Marina, and that's NICQUEMARINA. What else did you ask?
What do you got coming up?
What do I have coming up? I have a few premieres that I'll be attending for some upcoming movies that I'm excited to give thoughts on that will remain a secret. And and as far as content is concerned, you can definitely look forward to content and skits on The Little Mermaid and Spider-Verse, which just came out. And that's about it. And I believe I will be I believe I'll be a guest on a panel at Brooklyn Comic-Con next week. I forgot about that.
At Brooklyn Comic-Con?
So, Brooklyn.
Okay, very nice.
Amazing.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Good luck with you on that. And I can't wait to hear the things that you are forced to keep secret. So, eventually
I'm not forced to keep I'm not even forced to keep things secret.
Yeah.
I just don't like people knowing where I am.
That's fair. That's fair too.
That's fair.
We'll learn after the fact.
This world.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah. But thank you, Nicque, so much for coming on this episode.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Nova, where can we find you online? What do you got coming up?
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram. It's Miss Nova, MISS Nova Lively. It's funny. Tomorrow I'm gonna be cosplaying Ariel.
Yeah.
Filming the For the First Time song. And I'm gonna I'm doing a little, and I got my tail, so I'm gonna be doing some underwater stuff as well. I'm gonna try to attempt. I'm going all in with the cosplaying on Little Mermaid.
You're doing like an underwater shoot?
I'm excited. We're gonna try. We're gonna try to
good
attempt.
Luck. That's crazy.
So I
That's
literally
exciting.
just did my hair. Yeah, my roommate just did my hair for me last night. We're ready to go. So we're gonna start filming tomorrow. Yeah, I'm excited. I got my outfit. I know. Wish me luck, because I haven't honestly cosplayed in a minute. So especially to this degree, I'm usually just like behind a wall and just saying lines. So to actually like do real stuff when it comes to going outside, and be like at a flea market filming this. So it's gonna be interesting.
Are you gonna be looking
but in
for
my head, it's gonna
hoppers?
be great. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be doing all that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Doing the hair. I'm actually gonna be doing my tail today, adding fabric to it to make it more pretty looking.
Yeah. All these tails, by the way, they were really like in this movie. Like all the tails were just
beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Oh, I loved Ariel's tail too.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Yeah.
So hopefully it turns out good.
I'm sure.
Fingers crossed.
I bet it will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flippers crossed.
Extra content. Clippers crossed, yes. And then than that, I'm still figuring out what I want to do content wise besides cosplay, because like I like cosplay, but it's not my life like others, you know what I mean? Like they're like cosplay to the core. I just have an issue sticking with one thing, so I have to find out what that one thing is. But till then, I'm gonna do Little Mermaid cosplay.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
I have the braids. Why not take advantage?
Solid.
Yeah.
Thank you both of you so much for coming on. Thank you to the DA Experience 83. Thank you to New Booger Bit on Twitch for being in our chat. For anyone out there who wants to know, we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, / The Keeg Show. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, @The Keeg Show, Facebook and Twitter also, but a little bit less so. TikTok and Instagram are our biggest social media platforms, I guess. And if you're wanting to listen to the podcast, it's wherever you get your podcasts. So Apple Podcasts, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. That's where you can find the podcast. This episode, previous episodes, the episode of Spider-Verse that we're going to be live streaming later on today. Definitely stay tuned for that. If you want to get back to the patreon.com/The Keeg Show, that's also a thing. But pretty much @The Keeg Show / The Keeg Show, wherever, whether you can watch us live or listen to the podcast after the fact, we appreciate you. So anyone out there who's listening, watching, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, and let us know you're out there, because it's always great. Nicque, Nova, thank you so much for coming on. I would love to have you guys back again in the future, because you two were awesome.
Thanks for having us.
So even though it's your first time here today, it doesn't have to be first in one.
First time ever doing something like this.
Yeah, you did great. It was awesome.
Which I loved it. I loved it. I hope so.
Yeah.
Fun.
Either way, thank you guys so much. Thank you to everybody out there. Once again, I am your host, Dimithri Perera, and this has been the Keeg Talks, The Little Mermaid. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.